Shalom. I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who does lead and rule well. I want to say salutations and shalom also to you, hopeful elect Akim, pushing out this word in truth and in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And sincere shalom also to you, Akim and Akwaf, that's listening and learning, preparing yourselves here in these last days. All right? And to the entire house of the faith that's fighting this good fight of faith, I want to say shalom. This is your brother Daquar from the DC camp. Come back at you another lesson. And I'm entitled it Earthquakes, the Omens Before Judgment. All right? Because recently in the news, like in the last 48 hours, we experienced several earthquakes. Now this one on the screen, the picture, I made this yesterday. So it says 6 powerful earthquakes in less than 24 hours. All right, highlighted by the one in Venezuela. But we have since had a few more of those earthquakes, man. Let me pull it up here. This was I think this was it's today the 26th. That's the 27th. So this is old. It's even more. You know? Because I think literally like an hour ago, you had an earthquake in Afghanistan, man. 5-point-something earthquake. All right, so it says 11 strong quakes in 11 days. Stay alert, stay prepared, because there's going to be more. You see? You see the 2 of them in Venezuela in the same damn day. You know? What was that other one though? All right, yeah, that's the one. Strong earthquake. This was today at 2:37. Well, that's not the right time for over here, you know. But it says strong earthquake hits Hindu Kush, shaking Afghan and Pakistan. You see? So check this one out though. Look, and I want you to pay attention to the words and the verbiage that these people are using. It says an earthquake that lasted only a few seconds caused devastation in Venezuela. Oh God, how terrifying the day of judgment will be. Look at this. Just a few seconds. Look at this. So that reminds you of what's going to happen, man. All right, Salagi, I got somebody keep ringing the doorbell, you know. But yeah, they talking about the judgment day and then how in just a few seconds that can happen. Now this one was you know, not actual that footage. All right, but look, it lasted seconds, man. And in those seconds, just as an illustration, look at all the damage that was caused, man. The buildings collapsing and shaking. So all this happening in less than 24 hours everywhere. Imagine what Judgment Day is going to be like, man. Dude said it's going to feel like Judgment Day. You know? On here, what's that one? Oh, this just showing a different one. Look at the type of devastation. I'll go ahead and do it. He moving the damn camera too much. Making me dizzy. go to. Look at that, man. It's gonna be terrible to fall into the hands of the Lord, man. Y'all think that this is scary? All right, now I'm gonna get into the scriptures, because look at this. This was after that devastation. He says, to put yesterday's earthquake into perspective, a geologist says they released energy equivalent to about 260 nuclear bombs. Just imagine the force behind that. And you're going to get 100 million nuclear missiles, in this upcoming war. And that's the judgment day. That's the, what do you call it? The day of the Lord. But in the upcoming world war, the second death is what I was looking for, man. So they using these different words in nuclear missiles because, again, like I said, these are omens before the judgment. The Lord is showing these signs before they come. So people who don't even read the prophecies or study the scriptures, they saying these things because it's letting you know the times that we in, man. All right, because hey, the Lord putting it in their minds, man. And we're being warned. Something much greater is about to come, and the scriptures speak about that. So I'm about to go ahead and get into these scriptures, man. The first one that comes to mind, obviously, is Matthew's the 24th chapter. What is it? Matthew 24 and verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? Because that's what's coming, the end of the world, man, this world. All right, it says, so they was asking for signs, so these are just part of the signs. All right, and this is what Yahushua answered. I'm going to jump down to verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. All right, for nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And that's what you're seeing, man, all over the world. Okay? This is what's happening, man. It says all these are the beginning of sorrows. And Luke said the same thing in the Gospels, man. They are signs. They are omens. Now, when it says the beginning of sorrows, that's referring to these birth pains, man. Because the Lord likened it to the birth pains of a woman. Like the contractions that a woman faces is not the birth itself, which is when the Lord is going to come back. But the contractions is letting you know that the birth is about to happen, man. And they start to increase. They become stronger, more frequent, like I said, more intense. And then they become like closer together. Just like these wars, these pestilences, the famines and the earthquakes, man. And like I said, these earthquakes happening so consecutively. And in Venezuela, it was very telling because it was in the same day. Just it's a sign, man. These are the contractions, man. The Lord is letting us know, and the world is letting us know that his day is about to come. Now, this is a prophecy because when a part of accompanying the day of the Lord is the nuclear missiles, man. And now Isaiah said something. And I thought about this, as I was reading those comments from the people when he mentioned the nuclear missiles and the devastation that can happen within seconds, right? Well, how about a day? Right? What's that scripture? Revelation 18. I'm gonna get that, and then I'm gonna get Isaiah, because John seen it. Yeah, Revelation 18 and verse in verse 10, it says, standing afar off. Hold on. I'm gonna start at verse 8. It says, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire, for strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth, who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her, shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. And this is talking about specifically Babylon the Great, all right, being destroyed. It says, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. All right, so imagine what's going to happen in 1 hour, man, when all these missiles is faced at this place, man. It's coming towards this place. All right, it's going to be sudden. It's going to be unexpected. But this is why the scriptures say that for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, man. You know? So when I see these earthquakes, this is what my mind reverts back into, the end times, because these are signs. The earthquakes ain't the end themselves, but they point towards the day of the Lord. Talking about I can only think about the judgment of Babylon coming. You know? Isaiah 24 and verse 19 says, wait, I'm going to start at 18. It says, and it shall come to pass that he who fleeth the noise of the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that cometh out of the midst of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For the windows from on high are open, and the foundations of the earth do shake. The earth is utterly broken down. The earth is clean dissolved. The earth is moved exceedingly. Here's the point. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. All right, so imagine what type of force it's going to take to have the earth staggering, like moving back and forth like a drunkard, man. None other than these nuclear missiles, man. And these are just signs. You just see the power of the Lord and what he's capable of, man. But why is it happening? Is because the earth is filled with transgression, man. Oppression, idolatry, violence. You know? Just imagine what the Lord going to do to the earth when he judges it, man. Everybody terrified over these earthquakes, which it is devastating. You know? Imagine how long it'll take to build back those buildings that's been destroyed. This is going to happen on a mass scale, man. You know? And these people, they starting to fear what's coming. All right? You just listen to what they saying in these posts. Just regular people, man. It feels like Judgment Day. It was like hundreds of nuclear bombs, man. The world is ending. That's that perplexity. Let me get that. Luke, is it 20? Let me see. Luke 21. And I'm going to start at 25. It says, the return of the Hamashiach. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. All right. Now, it said distress of nations with perplexity. Let me get that word. And we just, brothers have sent a video of more chariot sightings, man. These are all signs, man. We in them times. The word perplexity says the state of one who is in perplexity. He ain't defined it at all. We gotta look up the definition. It says inability to deal with or understand something. An entangled state. Confusion. Complexity. So, yeah. That's well, I could have looked at. I'm good. I was gonna get the etymon, but it's all good. But you starting to have this fear, amongst the people. I'm gonna read verse 26. It says, men's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. So they hearts is already in fear. They looking to see what's about to happen, man. In the world senses, something is changing, man. They just don't understand it, but we understand it because the Lord gave us the word. That's the light that's shining in a dark place. All right. So that same world that's being shaken by earthquakes today going to witness a judgment by fire in these nuclear missiles, man. And it's already been prepared. the Lord already got them. That's why we can't let them have weapons of mass destruction, because y'all bullying everybody and don't want that get back. But see, it's already a whole bunch of missiles in the world. The Lord already prepared it according to his purpose in the day of the Lord. He said he created the what's that? The wicked for the day of evil, but it's another one. What is that? Not 24. Isaiah 54. Isaiah 54 and 16 says, yeah. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work, and I have created the waster to destroy. All right. So he created the man that created these. He put it in their minds to create these nuclear missiles, man, and he called it the waster. And what was it created to do? To destroy. Shapat. Shachat. It says to destroy, corrupt, to go to ruin, decay. It's the destroyer, man. So the Lord created them to do this, man. It says in the 13th chapter, Isaiah 13 and 5, it says, they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the land. All right. So it's the weapons of his indignation, man. Jeremiah 50 and 24. It says, I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh. This is part of the reason why this place is getting judged. Yahweh have opened his armory and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. Yeah, man, something's going to come. It said the land of the north is where we're going to get delivered out of this time, And it's going to be in dramatic fashion. All right? We got to get up out of here, man. This is Jeremiah 51 and 11. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. Yahweh have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes for his devices against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple, because it's going to be led by Russia. You know, he's going to use Russia, but not only Russia, you're going to have multiple nations, man. China, you know, at least that's who they, you know, again, the other world power right now. All right, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, man. He gonna do whatever he wants with it. These nations ain't carrying out their own plans, man. The Lord is pulling the strings, and they fulfilling his will, whether they know it or not. But we telling you, okay? Let me get 2nd Esdras 16. And I'm going to start at verse 12. It says, the earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord, and before the glory of his power. For strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow, his arrows that he shooteth are sharp, and he shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. It says, behold, the plagues are sent, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled, and shall not be put out, till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. All right? Hey, because the spirit of the Lord is in those missiles, man. It's not going to miss. See, this judgment day is talked about all throughout the scriptures, man. All right? Let me get Joel, the 2nd chapter. And it's going to be carried out, like I said, with missiles, man. And like... we're being warned of these things, man. These should put you in that mindset. All right? So if you getting weak and stuff like that, like the Apostle Hall said before, it's because you ain't watching, man. We seeing the signs. Like, if you don't think that these was major signs, I don't know what else to tell you. All right? You got normal people talking like this, man. A spiritual man should be able to discern what's happening, right? Anyways, this is Joel 2 and verse 1. It says, the terrible visitation. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound mine holy and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and strong. There have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape. And then it uses those warheads, and it's like the horsemen. You know? Let me see. I'm going to jump to verse 7. It says, they shall run like mighty men. This is talking about missiles, man. They shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and they shall not break their ranks. It says, neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path, and when they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city. They shall run upon the wall. They shall climb up upon the houses. They shall enter in at the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them. The heavens shall tremble. The sun and the moon shall be dark, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. And that's what's going to happen, man. And Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth his word. For the day of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua is great and very terrible, and who can abide? So it's all full circle, man. But the earth quaking and these earthquakes, it just made me think of it, man. Because it's going to end in the day, the quaking in the day of the Lord, man. And that's when the Lord is going to appear, after those contractions. This was just a sign of those contractions happening a lot more faster and more powerful. All right? Because once this place is destroyed, it's not the end of the entire earth. All right? It's the end of this world. And it's preparing the way for the return of Yahweh Shai. All right? Isaiah 66 and verse 15. It says, for behold, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will Yahweh plead with all flesh, and the slain of Yahweh shall be many. Because a lot of people going to die, man. All right, but this is how the Lord going to take his vengeance. All right, and flaming fire taking vengeance, it says. But the elect, we're going to be preserved from that. All right, while the judgments are being poured out on this earth, man, the Lord is going to remember his servants, and this is why we do what we do. Okay? As Raj Kassab says, man, we want to see the prophecies, not be a part of them in that way. Now I'm going to go to Isaiah 26. Because the Lord going to come and you know, because it's going to be those missiles, but it's also going to be those laser beams. But that's also the going to be our vehicle of salvation, the chariots, man. Isaiah 26:20 says, come, my people, enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, as it were, for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast. Okay? It says, for behold, Yahweh cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity. The earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain. All right? Yeah, man. People think you didn't have to be judged for all the bloodshed on the planet Earth. You know? So we're going to be in those chariots. And we're going to watch. Revelation 15:2 says, and I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass, saying, having the harps of the Most High. All right, now that's the righteous, pretty much standing over the firmament when we get taken out, when the chariots, we get caught up in the chariots, and then you're gonna go into the skies. That's why New Jerusalem's gonna come down from heaven. But that we're gonna be standing, watching from the on high, you know. And it said glass mingled with fire, because you're gonna see all that fire, man. You know? Psalm 91:8. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold the reward of the wicked. So we're going to be a witness to the Most High's justice, man, while we under his protection. So that was that's pretty much what I wanted to get. You know, these, like I said, these earthquakes ain't random. It ain't meaningless. You know, and although it's not the final judgment, they are omens, i.e. warnings. All right? Because these are just birth pains, man. All right? And the Lord shows us every day that his word is true, man. All right? So the day of the Lord is drawing near, man. And these warnings not going to stop. They're just going to increase. All right? Until that day comes. So Lord's willing, that was edifying. Until the next one, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. And I want to say, Shalom.